Hello, I'm Patricia Nelson from Princeton University Press, Yale University Press. So glad to be here with all of you at CALIBA for this virtual show. Wanting to thank you for your improvisational, creative, and fantastically brave ways of working together these past seasons. I'm very appreciative of working with you and excited to show you books for the fall. And certainly starting with a book very close to my heart from Yale University Press, How I Became a Tree by Sumana Roy. She is from India, northern India, in Siliguri at the foot of the Himalaya Mountains. The book is in that special eco-poetic place that so many of you are bringing together, curating in your stores, a place for braiding sweetgrass, finding the mother tree, memoir, poetry, grief for creation, love of creation, and in this case, intertwined with India. The book is really extraordinarily special. In fact, I have a copy from India that I ordered when I knew we would have this book, and I have been overwhelmed by loving praise from so many booksellers. I've been gathering it on a sheet, staff picks, holiday catalogs, subscription boxes, and I'll say together with Aggie at Kepler's Books, isn't it magical how certain books find us exactly when we need them? I love this book. Let me know if you have a copy or want one. I'm going to go on to Thomas Piketty's Time for Socialism. Socialism is certainly an outrageous word to Americans. We break out in a rash. Piketty a little bit further to the left than he has been, more excitingly in brief, wonderful essays on gender inequality, wealth taxation, Trumpism, Brexit, and the soul-crushing inhumanity of hypercapitalism. Art of Self-Improvement, 10 Timeless Truths is a Yale book by Anna Katharina Schaffner. I love everything about the package, this beautiful, deep cover drawing on the wisdom of Western philosophy, Eastern wisdom, Stoicism, a Chinese philosophy, and popular culture to kind of distill 10 essential truths about living a good life, letting go, and other wise advice. The first advice book having been written in the ancient world. Art Can Help is now out in paper. We love this book in hardback, but couldn't reprint it. Now a beautiful paperback printed in Japan, an exquisite essay, photographs all through, poignant title, Art Can Help Us Through, drawing on culture. Robert Adams, the great photographer, only $16, a really lovely book. And very, very excited about the National Book Award finalist, Desiree C. Bailey, for What Noise Against the Cane, a powerful book of poetry. She is from Trinidad, Caribbean, rhythm throughout the whole book, and an incredible long line poem, as you can see at the bottom of the page, which goes all the way through the ship across the ocean, Haiti, Trinidad, and the power of a terrible history. We hope she wins. She's a wonderful poet. I'm going to flash some big art books on the screen. Brand new Georgia O'Keeffe photographer. This is not yet in the warehouse, but it's a great and good looking book full of fantastic photographs that we were unaware of as a serious art practice with Georgia O'Keeffe. I loved selling Van Gogh and the olive groves in California. Had a sort of a Napa wine country feel. That book is just out. And just to remind you of the staggeringly stupendous Joan Mitchell, the show was open at SF MoMA, and a totally thrilling and fantastic book. It is enormous. And going on, Princeton University Press, I'm going to start with their book, After 100 Years, by Margaret Jacobs, who was our guest at Mountains and Plains Booksellers Association just this past weekend. The book is about reconciling with Native American dispossession of land one of the great sins of American history, together with slavery. Jacobs looks deeply at the possibility of repatriation and the importance of knowing the history of where you stand, where you live, living deeply in what has happened here as Anglo-white settler people. I would suggest pairing this with Yale's great book, American Genocide, on California history of Native Americans. After 100 years, a beautiful cover by a Lakota artist. Very proud of this book. And yes, it's time for Mary Beard. 12 Caesars is her stupendous art history and history book on the image of the 12 Caesars throughout Western history. The book is saturated with images, and her terrific and brilliant way of looking at men in power, as you can imagine, preening themselves before the Hall of Mirrors, hoping they too will be a Caesar, whatever their role as king, emperor, aristocrat, on horseback like Marcus Aurelius, or however they might imagine themselves. And another great brand name author is Neil deGrasse Tyson, together with Michael Strauss and Richard Gott, in this wonderful 1495 whirlwind tour of the galaxy, a brief welcome to the universe. I am very delighted with Zena Hitz's Lost in Thought, a perfect book through the pandemic. With us now, its core message: you have a right, a duty, a joy to take your own inner seriousness seriously. What it is you want to do, what you want to read, learn Latin, craft, art. She's a St. John's College person, and this is just sort of a wonderful bibliotherapeutic impulse book for bookstores. I love this essay. Princeton, too, has a contender for the National Book Award in nonfiction. It's fantastic. Lucas Basier, Running Out, In Search of Water on the High Plains, about the depletion of the Ogallala Aquifer, about family, its memoir, its climate change, its rural America. A beautifully written book. And a final flash of giant art books from Princeton, Gothic, beautifully embossed, fantastic end papers, and saturated throughout with fantastic images. It's too late to be goth for Halloween, but it's always time for goth. I learned in the Northwest. I was just at the PNBA show, Goth Donuts, for goodness sakes. The book is very desirable. Good price, $39.95. And showing a book too heavy for me to lift, Birds of the World, the complete Birds of the World. That would mean 10,700 birds, flock after flock after flock after stupendous flock. Gorgeous book, it's out now. And I'm going to finish with Nature's Palette. This book sold out. We're reprinting. Back order it now. That reprint's coming in, I hope, by the end of the month. The book is fabulously made. It's a book about natural pigments and natural illustration, colors drawn from bird wing and soil and iris of the eye and flowers. There are some spectacular fold-outs throughout this book, big gate folds. And the book is just selling itself. People are stacking it up. I think it's a perennial title. Nature's Palette. Back order it now at IPS. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful holiday, and have some holiday for yourselves. And I'll see you soon. Bye.